Good morning, everybody. I am your host, Supreme Litigant. I'd like to welcome all of y'all back to Smart Lope TV. Before I begin with the topic of the video today, I'd like for y'all to go ahead and hit that like and subscription button and turn your notification bell on also. Um, I'll give y'all a second to do that before I start. All right, so I'm gonna jump right into this. Um, I I was watching Yusuf L one day. He was doing one of these videos, and he was like, I think he mentioned that he needed some help doing these videos, or he was suggesting that people help do these videos, help him, do the videos, or just to provide some type of commentary. I really don't want to do that, but I think I need to. So that's why I made this video because it's just depressing seeing this stuff. Not only that, what upsets me and depresses me even more are these comments, because these people down here, they are either trolls, agents, or these are the people who we will need to help us if it ever comes down to putting the government in check. These people, they don't appear to read anything. They think that because when you watch these so-called sovereign citizens videos, and you see the judges in there, they're acting very polite and they're being very patient. Most of the times, they think that this judge is not committing treason, or they're under the end. It seems to think that the judge is doing the right thing, that he's obeying the law and respecting and at the same time respecting um, this so-called sovereign citizens argument, even though they're lying. They are lying to you people. So I'm not, don't believe anything I say in regards to me saying that they're lying to you. I'm going to read you cases and I'm going to show you that this man in this video is not crazy. He just needs to do more research on what he's talking about. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this video. It's about 6 minutes long, a little over 6 minutes long, and I'm gonna pause it from time to time to provide you commentary on if what he's saying is true or not, and I'm gonna show you proof. All right. So let's go ahead and get this thing started.
Consent to unlawful engagement, sir. I need to tell you what I'm telling you, good sir. No, I'm a lawful individual. What you're doing is enforcing corporate policy, good sir, and I victimize nobody. So what you're doing is violating my.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Did y'all hear when the man said what you're doing is enforcing corporate policy? That is exactly what they are doing. 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 Because police officers did not exist at common law. The only common law officer is the sheriff. The only common law officer that the legislature cannot get rid of or abolish or tell what to do is the fucking sheriff. I wonder why is that? Because the legislature did not create the sheriff. The sovereign people of the states created the sheriff. So if you're in Texas, the sovereign people of Texas deposited that law enforcement authority into the sheriff. They picked the sheriff. They say, okay, sheriff, look, this is what we want you to do. This is the authority that you have. This is the authority that you don't have. If y'all ever pay attention to any of these Western films, like you have to look at these old films where these people out in the middle of nowhere and two men, they both have guns. Nobody has a license or a permit for the gun because that's irrelevant. That's not law anyway, just to let y'all know. But anyway, these two men with guns, they walk out in the middle of the street and they shoot each other. And the sheriff is standing right there and the sheriff does nothing. Because those two people are sovereign. Now there's another scene. I mean, there are also other scenes in some of these movies where somebody is sitting down, in one of these old Western movies or whatever, and but somebody walks over to him and probably punches him in the face or shoots at him or something like that. So we're gonna say that they punch him in the face, and this man will get up and say, "Sheriff," because the sheriff will be, he'll be sitting right there sometimes. They'll say, "Sheriff, I want this man arrested for assault." Your ass is going to jail because you just committed a crime, because that is an actual injured party. That is a living flesh and blood man. Not only did your dumb ass do that, you did that in front of a sheriff. You going to jail. You committed a crime, not an offense, not something that's malum prohibitum, but a crime, an actual crime, meaning that this man who you assaulted, all he has to do is fill out an affidavit stating what happened. You going to jail. Anyway, um, there's another comment that I want to add when he says you're enforcing corporate policy. So let me go back. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, sorry about that, y'all, but I had to pull up this information for y'all. This is my YouTube channel. If you are new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my channel. You can learn a lot. So I'm scroll down. You see this video right here? What a city charter looks like? Y'all need to go and watch that video, because in this video, I am reading to you a charter that was given to the city by the legislature. Okay. In this video right here, it tells you in plain layman terms, in my opinion, that the city is a corporation. It's a fucking corporation. Not only that, if you go to dunnandbradstreet.com and you type in, let's say you want to type in, let's say you are in Texas and you go to Dun and Bradstreet, you want to look up a business, you type in City of San Antonio or something like that. You will see the City of San Antonio on Dun and Bradstreet. Dun and Bradstreet is a credit reporting agency for corporations. I know because I have a DUNS number for my business. And I have an EIN number for my business. The city also has an EIN number. Now, I've personally never seen an EIN number, but there are ways that you can get it. There are some people who have gotten EIN numbers. They are corporations and they are doing business with you. That is what the fuck is going on. That is what the fuck is going on. That is what the fuck is going on. I need to say it just like that because I'm trying to get this into y'all heads. Now, you don't have to believe me, but just go and watch these videos and go and do your own research. And you come up to your whatever conclusion you come up with, is what you come up with. That's the conclusion that I came up with. All right, so let me get back to this video.
My constitutional rights. You're violating my constitutional rights. You can't make any sense over what I'm saying, which is I have a right by God to travel freely. You are violating my rights by stopping me, by flashing those lights. What you're doing.
He does have a right to travel without license plates and so on and so forth like that. Insurance and all that stuff. He does. And you're a damn fool if you don't believe this man. Well, if you don't do your research and you're saying you're calling this man crazy, then you're a damn fool. You need to do your research because he does have a right to travel without insurance and without license plates. However, they are never going to tell you that. And you're a damn fool if you think they're ever going to tell you that. You're a fool because they're going to lose so much so-called money if people start figuring this shit out. Not only that, people are going to start thinking, well, if they lied to us about that, maybe they lied to us about some other stuff. So on and so forth like that. Another thing I'm going to recommend that this guy, I don't know his name. I really don't even know why he was stopped. So I can't determine based on this video if the stop was lawful or unlawful. But another thing is, listen, y'all, don't ever, 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 ever argue the law with police officers. Don't do that. You are wasting your time because they've been taught that you are a sovereign citizen. And they don't know law anyway. About 9 out of 10 of them do not know law. They become police officers in about, 6 months maybe? Probably about 6 months. Some may be shorter, some may be longer, but generally speaking, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it's probably about 6 months in Alabama. Not only that, I want y'all to notice that you don't vote for police officers. They are hired. You don't vote for police officers. They are hired. The only officer that you vote for in regards to law enforcement is the fucking sheriff. Back to the video.
Good sir, is saying that there's been good sir, you're saying there's been an emergency. By flashing those lights, you are violating the law. There's been no emergency whatsoever. I'm here. No, she's fine and good. Good sir. Just because you have the gun and the badge doesn't mean you're right. I know exactly what I'm saying. I know exactly these cops very well. We are activists. We know how to defend our rights very well, good sir. You are in bad form. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not, good sir. You're going to violate my constitutional rights. I'll have you in court, and it's no big deal. I do this all the time. That's what I do. You cannot talk over me. You make no sense. You have no authority whatsoever, and as a corporate policy enforcer, good sir. So you need to understand I control the situation here. You do not control. Yes, sir, I do. No, you don't. As I walk away. You're not going to walk away. I lawfully walk. No, do not. I have no clothes. I am not under arrest. Sir, I'm not under arrest. You're violating my rights. Good sir, you're violating my rights. You're on tape for violating my rights. I do not consent. I do not consent. I am not consenting.
I'm gonna stop right there. Did y'all hear what he was saying? I do not consent. And he was trying to walk away and terminate, the encounter, because you can do that if the Fourth Amendment is not applicable during a consensual encounter. During a consensual encounter, that's what they call them. But the main thing I want to point out before I get to the other part is, do y'all hear where he's saying, I do not consent? I do not consent. Let me show y'all something. I think is it in Dunbar? Yeah, right here. Now, this is an Alabama Supreme Court case. This is a principle, just to let y'all know. This does not just apply in Alabama. Okay, this is an old case. You need to go and read the old cases, because in the old cases, they really didn't sugarcoat anything. They just said it in the old cases. They didn't make it obscure. They just said it. This is Dunbar versus Frazier, Alabama Supreme Court case from 1885. All right. This is a real case. So I'm going to scroll on down. I think it's right here. Now we're going to talk about jurisdiction over the person, how the courts and police officers, generally speaking, get jurisdiction over you. But in this case, they're talking about courts. This applies to police officers too, because police officers are not sovereign. Courts are not sovereign. Y'all see this? I'm going to make this real big for y'all ass to see. See where it says jurisdiction of the person is acquired by proper service of legal process or by consent. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Do I need to read? I'm going to read it one more time. Jurisdiction of the person is acquired by proper service of legal process or by consent. That means they get jurisdiction in two ways, meaning they have to serve you bona fide service of process of a summons and a complaint, or you have to give permission, because they are not fucking sovereign. I wonder who's sovereign. We're going to find out next, because y'all think this man in this video is crazy. And he is not crazy. I think he's a little, misinformed, maybe a lot misinformed. He needs to do some more studying. But this is not easy what this man is doing. When you go into court fighting, trying to stand up for your rights, you can be the last thing that these so-called judges, they're not judges, they're administrators. But the last thing that they want in that courtroom is a motherfucker who knows what who knows what is going on, that is not an attorney. because they're liable to expose what's really going on if they know how to do it. That's the last thing they want in there. I'm telling you what I know. They'll be trying to get your, if you know what the fuck is going on in court, they'll be trying to get your ass out of that courtroom so fast. Man, look, or they gonna call you last. They'll sit your ass in that court when they know who you are and they know you know what you're talking about. They will call you last. That has happened to me numerous of times. Numerous of times. What else? Let's get to the consensual encounter thing. So I want to show y'all something. This is the case law right here. During a consensual encounter, a citizen may either voluntarily comply with a police officer's requests or choose to ignore them. Because the citizen is free to leave during a consensual encounter, constitutional safeguards are not invoked. What they're saying is because the police they don't have reasonable suspicion or probable cause, so they can't just arrest you or detain you because they don't have that. They're really arresting you. A traffic stop is an arrest, just to let y'all know. Your ass is arrested. Anytime you are not free to leave, as a matter of law, you are arrested. Let me get back to this video, and then we'll talk about some other things.
He's not resisting. He's not resisting.
Consent. You are violating my rights. No, I am not. You are violating my rights. Sir,
do y'all hear what they saying when he's saying the officers are screaming, quit resisting, and there are people in the background that are saying he's not resisting, he's not resisting. Police officers are taught and trained to say stop resisting arrest even when your ass is not resisting arrest. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell y'all that. They taught and trained that, just to let y'all know. Somebody has told them to do that. Not only that, you have every right when the arrest is unlawful, even if you kill the police officer, to resist the arrest. I'm not telling you to kill the police officer unless you have a lawful purpose for doing so. What I'm trying to get you to understand is you have a right to resist an unlawful arrest. So I want to show you these cases. I'm not going to read all of these cases, but you can read the little highlighted stuff for yourself. And if you're curious about the case and you want to read it yourself, then here's a case citation right here. The case citation is going to be right here in front of the case. Okay, this is a Maryland case. This court has upheld the right of a person to resist an unlawful arrest. I hate that word, person. That's a very vague term. Every person has a right to resist an unlawful arrest. Every person has a right to resist an unlawful arrest. That is in Louisiana. The first one was in Maryland. Let's see. We're going to scroll down Louisiana, North Carolina. This is a principle, just to let y'all know. This is applicable everywhere. The legislature cannot give you rights, okay? They can't give you rights. Your rights do not come from them. The government cannot give you rights. And I'm going to show you a case that says that. Because they're not sovereign. You are sovereign. Anyway, North Carolina, Georgia, a person has a right to resist an unlawful arrest. What is this? Missouri. Accordingly, every person has a right to resist an unlawful arrest. Missouri, same thing. West Virginia, you have a right to resist an unlawful arrest. Maryland, what is this? Looks like Maryland again. Louisiana, Georgia, Eastern District, Michigan. A citizen has a right to resist an unlawful arrest. Washington, a citizen has a right to resist an unlawful arrest. Ninth Circuit, one has an undoubted right to resist an unlawful arrest. I'm not going to keep reading this, but do y'all see where I'm going with this? Y'all see where I'm going with this? You would know this if you would read cases. You would know this if you would read cases. Now I'm going to get to the point about where your rights come from, or or how should I put this? Well, I'm gonna just read y'all the case citation because I don't want to confuse anybody. Give me a second. All right. Here's a there's going to be two case citations that I'm going to read right here in this video. The first one is going to be this one right here. I hate using this word United States because they're talking about a corporation called the United States that's located exclusively in the District of Columbia. That's what they're talking about. Y'all thinking that they're talking about the United States of America. That is not what they're talking about. But anyway, in the United States, the people are sovereign. The government does not convey rights to the people, but instead, it is the people who convey power to the government. Here's another case. The people adopted the 11th Amendment to nullify the Supreme Court's holding in Chisholm versus Georgia. Do y'all remember when I said the people can nullify every Supreme Court decision that they don't like whenever the fuck they want? They can do that. All they have to do is make a new amendment in their constitution, and they can do that whenever the fuck they want. If they don't like it, they can do it whenever the fuck they want. They don't have to wait every 4 to 6 years or whatever the Constitution says, because the Constitution does not apply to them. And I'm gonna show you cases that say that right after I show y'all and read y'all this. The people adopted the 11th Amendment to nullify the Supreme Court's holding in Chisholm versus Georgia. Yet the underlying principles of the Constitution, as explained by the Supreme Court, remain unchanged. The people, not their governments, are sovereign. There's the case right there. That's the case right there. But y'all think this man is crazy. Y'all think these judges are right when they call people sovereign citizens. Let me tell y'all something. These folks are committing treason because they are treating you like you are a subject, and you are not a subject. You are not their subject. They are your subjects. You have to keep them in check. You got to keep them in line. And they're playing word games with you because they know people, generally speaking, they don't read and they can't comprehend legalese. So they're hiding this shit. And they are never going to admit this. And you a damn fool if you think that they going to tell you, you know what, you're right. You do have a right to travel. We sorry, we violated your right. You're a damn fool if you think that they're going to tell you that. You crazy if you think that these people are going to tell you that. They're committing treason. Let me pause the video for a second. I want to show y'all something else. All right, this is another Alabama Supreme Court case from Michael. It's called Michael versus State. It was decided in 1867. I'll show y'all something. I went to the law library myself, picked this book up off the shelf, and read it. I want to show y'all something because these people got y'all thinking that this man is crazy. And this man ain't crazy. Y'all are crazy for not believing this man, or for at least not doing the research to see if, in fact, he does know what he's talking about, or if he is crazy. But anyway, let me read y'all something. No doubt, the ultimate sovereignty, the government-making sovereignty, resides in the people. But after a government is once formed by the people, they can only exercise this sovereignty by revolution or in the manner they have prescribed to themselves in the Constitution. I'm going to read this for y'all one more time, and I'm going to provide some commentary on it. No doubt, the ultimate sovereignty, the government-making sovereignty, meaning the power to create a government, resides in the people. But after a government is once formed by the people, they, being the people, can only exercise this sovereignty, meaning they can only create another government after they abolished the previous government. They can only create another government by revolution or in the manner they have prescribed to themselves in the Constitution. So either they can say, you know what, we don't like this, y'all fucking up, Y'all not following these instructions. Y'all just think y'all can do whatever the hell y'all want to do, and you can't. You just can't do that. So we're going to change this Constitution. And let's just say the government be like, fuck you, we're not doing that. Then you have every right to rebel against that government. You have every right to do that. And you're a damn fool if you think that they're going to tell you that. I just told y'all that you're a fool if you think that they're going to tell you that. They're not going to tell y'all this shit. They're not going to tell you this shit. They're not going to tell you this shit. They are not going to tell you this shit. You need to go and read these cases. That's what they tell you at. Because in these modern cases, they're hiding this shit and they're making it very obscure. They're hiding it. That's what they're doing. I want to show y'all something else. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so I want to point something else out to y'all. I'm going to focus on this right here. This. I think it's from this case right here. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to point something out to y'all. Do y'all remember where I was saying that the Constitution, I probably didn't say it. If I didn't, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. The Constitution does not apply to you. It does not say what you can and cannot do, meaning that private citizens cannot violate the Constitution. Only public servants can do that. Okay. A search or seizure conducted by a private citizen does not implicate the Fourth Amendment. This is a Supreme Court case right here from 1980. A private citizen's acts cannot constitute a search or seizure within the context of the Fourth Amendment unless, that's an exception, the citizen is acting as an agent or instrument of the government. And if the citizen is not acting as an agent or instrument of the government, then you cannot violate the Constitution. It does not say what you can and cannot do. Not only that, let me just give y'all an example. Okay. If the Constitution, we're going to use Alabama. We'll say Alabama. So if the Constitution in the state of Alabama is the supreme law of Alabama, but it does not apply to the citizens, meaning they cannot violate it, then how can a statute which is inferior to the Constitution lawfully apply to the people? Ask yourself that. How can a ordinance, statute, regulation, how can this stuff lawfully apply to you if all of those are inferior to the Constitution and the Constitution does not apply to you? That's a good question. It's a damn good question. Just ask yourself that. It makes no sense. None. All right. I'm going to get back to this video.
Stop! You guys got to come and sit down. Put your hands off of me. Fuck off of me. Don't touch me. That's assault. Don't put your hands on me again. That's assault. Do not touch me. You have no right to put your hands on me. Get back. No. Get out. No.
Stop it right there for a minute. Do y'all hear what he's saying? You have no right to touch me. Don't touch me. Yada, yada, yada. Again, I don't know if he's been lawfully arrested or unlawfully arrested. But if he has been unlawfully arrested, I'm going to assume that there's a possibility that he has been unlawfully arrested based on what the witnesses are saying in the video who saw everything. That's the only reason I'm saying that. But so let's just say he was unlawfully arrested. Do y'all know those witnesses have every right to intervene and prevent those police officers, if they want to, from unlawfully arresting this man? And they would be immune to prosecution. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that when a police officer, or anybody for that matter, touches you without your permission or any lawful purpose whatsoever, that is a battery? That is considered battery on your person. And since it's battery, it's also, as a matter of law, an assault. Did y'all know that? I did. Now, these people in the comment section of this video, they probably didn't know that because they ass don't read. But I knew that. Let's get back to the video.
Don't touch me again. Don't do it.
Sir, you're hurting him.
Stop.
Sir, he's got health issues. You need to stop.
He's had, listen, stop walking up. He's had multiple surgeries. He's had multiple surgeries. Hey, listen.
I broke my fucking hips. I shattered my hips. You guys realize how bad you fucked up?
Hey.
No, I'm only relaxed when you take me out of these cups and you act as gentlemen as you act as gentlemen. I ain't under shit. I ain't under shit. You ever heard of commercial lean? You ever heard of commercial lean? You're gone. It's all bad. You fucked up. You might want to retract at this very point.
All right, I'm gonna stop right there. Do y'all hear where he's talking about a bond and the commercial lien? And he is absolutely right. Now, in regards to police officers, I don't know where this, I don't know where this arrest took place. Maybe they have bonds there. In Alabama, they do not have bonds, but they do have insurance. All right. When I sued the police in federal court and I settled my case at the settlement conference, there was a woman in there, and I didn't know who this woman was. But they're not going to let you in this, in federal court anyway, unless you're a party to the case. So she was some sort of third party. She represented the insurance company of the police officers. And she was at the settlements conference. So what I'm trying to tell y'all, this is an insurance. When you're filing a lawsuit against them, this is an insurance claim. This shit is no different than two cars in the middle of the street exchanging information that have just had, a wreck, and they're exchanging insurance information because the insurance company has indemnified them. They're going to pay for their damages. They're going to be the surety for the debt or for the claim, or so to speak. That's exactly what happened in my case. They have insurance. Not only that, he's talking about a commercial lien. Do not ever, 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 ever file any kind of lien against anybody unless your ass want to go to jail if you have not gotten a judgment first from a court, a so-called court. Don't do that. Do not do that, or your ass going to jail. Now, what I can tell you who do have bonds, at least in Alabama, I can. The sheriff has a bond. The judges have bonds. This bond is their insurance because they have to faithfully execute and discharge their duties. And when they don't, meaning when they violate your rights, they have injured you. That's an injury. The violation of a right is an injury. And they have to compensate you for that. Now, there is no money, so they just give you Federal Reserve notes. But anyway, if y'all think I'm lying, if y'all think I'm just making shit up, I did videos on this showing you a sheriff's bond and a judge's bond. Give me a second. Let me find it for you. There they are right there. What a sheriff's bond looks like. Y'all need to go and watch that video. Here's another one. What a judge's bond looks like. Go watch this video. If y'all think people are crazy and y'all think we just making this shit up, go watch the video. That's what you do. Go watch the videos. You come up with your own conclusions. Let's get back to the video.
Sir, you fucked up.
We're going to stand you up and we're going to try to cover you up at the same time.
No, don't be my best friend. I got this shit.
Okay.
Y'all ain't men. You're fucking bitches.
All right, you ready?
That's the reality.
Do you have any clothes on underneath?
No.
Besides your shirt?
No.
All right, why don't we...
Man,
I'll grab it.
honor.
Bobby,
Man,
run inside
honor.
our upstairs closet.
You're
Hold on.
Blankets up there.
Hold on.
You don't realize what you just did. Your smart move and call your soldier. Actually, take the fucking, call your chief.
Hey,
let him know.
can his girlfriend help?
Yeah. No, the whole department. You understand? This is what I do. You're a
Relax,
sovereign?
dude. Relax.
Okay, I'm not a bomber. What we do is use the
listen,
law
you
to
tried to
fuck
walk away
those.
from a traffic
No,
stop.
no,
I told you to come back.
You unlawfully
You're
stopped
under
me.
arrest.
I told that to you.
Hey.
I let you know what the law is.
Okay.
You don't know it. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
I'm gonna stop right there. You hear where he's saying ignorance of the law is no excuse. I'm gonna give you some commentary on that. He's right. I've seen that in numerous cases. He's 100% right. However, justice is discretionary, and meaning the law doesn't apply to everybody. I know they like to think, they like to make y'all think that it does, but it doesn't, because police officers can violate the Fourth Amendment and still get immunity, and they won't be held liable if they make a reasonable mistake. That's what they call it, a reasonable mistake of law. So an example of that is, let's say you're in Colorado and you're walking across the street and police officer stops you and arrests you for jaywalking or whatever. However, in Colorado, there is no statute, because that's what the fuck it is. There's no statute that says or that criminalizes jaywalking. But the police officer, he didn't know that, even though he should have known that. There are courts all around the country that will probably give that officer immunity, because even though he violated the Fourth Amendment, meaning he unlawfully detained you and arrested you, assaulted and battered you, and probably took you to jail, he made a reasonable mistake. And since the Fourth Amendment does not prohibit reasonable searches and seizures, he's going to get immunity. That's an example. And I've seen stuff kind of similar to that in court cases that I definitely disagree with. But yeah, they're allowed to violate the Fourth Amendment and get immunity. Not only that, if you look at the standard for to overcome qualified immunity, it's arguable probable cause. That's a little confusing. I won't touch that subject in this video, but it's called arguable probable cause, which it's crazy. But anyway, let's get back to the video.
I ain't listening to shit. The only thing you can do is let me out of these motherfuckers and go about my day. You ain't saying shit. You have no standing. I'm calm. You have no standing. My rights are just violated.
Standing you up right now, all right? You guys see his arms bleeding?
So I can be naked as you violate my rights.
Where's the blood coming from?
Where's the blood coming from? You're fucked up! Mob mentality! Mob mentality! I have a reason and a right to be an asshole because I got tackled. Don't try to fucking plant me. Don't plant me. Don't plant me. I'll stop when I'm done. I'll stop when I'm done. I know this.
Did you guys request 29 yet?
Call your fucking chief. Call your fucking chief. I gotta talk to him before you put me in his fucking car. Because trust me, you're gonna like want to hear what I got to say.
Calm down. We're going to
Make
stand you up.
Hey,
We're going to stand you up, but we're going to keep you covered up, okay?
You keep me covered up, and you ain't putting me in the back of the car. Trust me. No, sir, I'm not. You don't realize each action. No. I'm a prisoner of war. I'm a prisoner of war.
All right.
You
We're
understand?
going to stand you up. Ready?
I'm a prisoner of fucking war. Motherfucker. Relax, I got this shit. Relax. Keep me naked, motherfucker. Look what you're doing. You're on your way to fucking mess. You're all got the goddamn heart. You beat me up.
He did not fucking do shit.
I know.
He did not.
I was looking out the window.
He did not resist.
I know.
You would know somebody would have been on their motherfucking ass.
By the way, this is his phone. It's recording the whole
I
time.
know.
You're done. Next fight, just call fucking shit. I got something to say. I'll say it's a man.
Will you grab that blanket, please?
What? I got this shit. Look like this. Look like this.
I can take the blankets if you
I
want.
don't know if you want to give them to us. I'll ask. You guys, you have shorts or something?
Hey, do you have like a pair of pants you can send them in?
Here's
Here.
one. He still has another.
That's fine. You can have the sheet. That's fine.
Is it a sheet or is it a blanket?
It's a blanket sheet or something. Do you have any pants in there?
All right. That will be the end of that video. So I wanna talk about something. I want y'all to see something. Where is it at? I think I already read y'all Michael versus State. It's Perkins. Okay. Now we're gonna talk about sovereignty a little bit more because I know I've done this in some of my videos, but I just feel like I got to do it again just to get this embedded into people's minds who are new to my channel, who have never heard of any of this stuff, or who at least don't read. You are sovereign. That is how it's set up in the United States of America. This is not a democracy, it is a republic. That is how it's set up in the United States of America. The legislature is inferior to the people. The judiciary is inferior to the people. The executive branch, they are all inferior to the people. The people can nullify every Supreme Court decision that they don't like whenever the fuck they want. You need to accept that. The people can, whenever they have a reasonable belief that the judge is committing treason, march into this courtroom whenever the fuck they want. Look, Your Honor, I would advise them, to do it in a cordial manner, But, if you just got a really, really bad judge in there and you want to get him out of there, you have every right to do that when she or he is refusing to step down out of office. You have every right to remove them from office in any manner you deem expedient and necessary. But anyway, I'm going to read y'all something. We're going to, because we're trying to see who is superior out of the people and the legislature in this particular case. For the security of the judiciary itself, one of these great coordinate departments, the people, in their constitution has expressly guarded and restricted the power of the legislature. This department, the legislature, has always claimed to be the people, and it has often invaded the rights and authority of other departments. I'm going to read that. I got to read that shit again because it might be going over some people's heads. The people are a department of the government. Just to let y'all know. Why do you think that they need your permission to change the Constitution? That's an administrative process. Now, you don't have to use that process to change the Constitution. Not the people. They don't. They can they can tear up their Constitution right now all over the country. They can tear it up right now and just write a whole new one. If that's what they want to do, because they're sovereign, they can do that. For the security of the judiciary itself, one of these great coordinate departments, the people in their constitution has expressly guarded and restricted the power of the legislature. Restricted the power of the legislature. Restricted the power of the legislature. The legislature is not sovereign. This department, the legislature, has always claimed to be the people and has often invaded the rights and authority of other departments. It once elected the judiciary, but the people took from them. The people took from it that power. But the people took from it that power. The people took from it that power. It once had unlimited control over the tenure of inferior judicial officers, judges, and the people restricted this power. It once had unlimited control over the tenure of inferior judicial officers, judges, and the people restricted this power. The people now elect all the judges, and every man duly qualified and placed in office by the votes of the people is a judge. They need your permission, man. But they sitting in these courtrooms, on these benches, making fun of you and calling you a sovereign citizen. Violating your rights. That's what they're doing in these administrative courts, these administrative agencies. That's what they are. They're administrative agencies. They are not courts. They're administrative agencies. Yes, they look like courts, they function like courts, but they're not courts in the sense in which they are exercising judicial authority. They're exercising. I don't call it. I don't consider it quasi judicial authority. I call it plenary power, because that's what the legislature is doing. That's what they call it. The people have further restricted the power of the legislature to remove the judges, not only by securing the tenure of their office, but also by prescribing express rules and conditions in respect of removals by the Constitution. In this case, the legislature has legislated so as to remove a judge from office. They have abandoned the judicial functions of address and impeachment conferred on them by the Constitution, and have ignored the rule requiring a 2/3 vote of each house, and forgotten that the governor must remove the censured incumbent, and have attempted to vacate his office by repealing the law that established this court. That's a statute. That's a legislative court. That's an inferior court. All legislative courts are inferior courts. All U.S. district courts, inferior courts. All U.S. Court of Appeals, inferior courts. United States Supreme Court, inferior court. No, y'all like, how is the United States Supreme Court an inferior court? Because the legislature created that damn court. There's two federal U.S. Supreme Courts. Well, there's two federal Supreme Courts is what I'm trying to say. There's one that was created by the legislature, and there's one that was created by the judiciary. Not the judiciary, but by the people. I'm sorry. By the Constitution is what I'm trying to say. There's two. I think there was something else that I wanted to talk about in this video. Give me a second, y'all. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, what I want to talk about right now is that video, just for a quick second. When they arrested that man and they took him to jail, they're going to take him before a legislative court, an administrative court, an inferior court. That's where he's going. They're not going to take him before a judicial officer. They're not going to do that. There's two court systems that I'm going to talk about in this video. Two, there are superior courts and there are inferior courts. Superior courts are created by the Constitution via the people. Inferior courts are created by the legislature via statutes. This is the well, I'll give y'all the case after this. This is the same case that I just read a second ago. But aside from this objection to petitioner's claim, the courts of this state are not only divided into courts superior and inferior. They are of different characters. Some are established by the Constitution itself, that is, by the people. They do not depend on legislative enactment for existence. They are created at the same time and in the same way with the legislature itself. They are of the same grade in the sovereign power. They are a constituent branch of the government itself. The government under the Constitution is not complete without them. These are the Senate sitting as a court of impeachment, the Supreme Court, the Circuit Court, and the Chancery Court, and the courts of probate. Now, this is an old case, okay? So they may have changed this constitution, but I'm just giving y'all an idea of the distinctions between, I'm trying to substantiate the distinctions between legislative courts, which are inferior courts, and courts that are created by the Constitution, which are superior courts. Let's see. Let me go up some more. I'm sorry about that, y'all. We were right here. Yeah. These courts do not owe their existence to the legislative power, and the legislature cannot dispense with them or abolish them. These courts do not owe their existence to the legislative power, and the legislature cannot dispense with them or abolish them. These courts do not owe their existence to the legislative power, and the legislature cannot dispense with them or abolish them. They are emphatically the people's courts. 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 Do I need to repeat that again? And they proceed directly from the sovereign will. Who is that? Who are they talking about? The people. They are emphatically the people's courts, and they proceed directly from the sovereign will. They constitute a coordinate and independent department of the government. And there is no other department of the government that can abolish them. The people alone, in whom is the ultimate sovereign power, can do this. Y'all got to pay attention, man. Got to pay attention. Got to pay attention. There are other courts called in the Constitution inferior courts of law and equity. These are legislative courts, administrative courts. I call them administrative agencies because they function exactly like administrative agencies, because they are in there enforcing statutes and following statutory procedures. That is what they are doing. And real courts that are created by the Constitution with authentic judicial officers in there, they do not enforce statutes and they don't follow statutory procedures. Only executive administrators do that. There are other courts called in the Constitution inferior courts of law and equity, which the General Assembly, which is the legislature, may from time to time establish. These latter courts derive their existence from legislative enactment. These latter courts derive their existence from legislative enactments. These latter courts derive their existence from legislative enactment. They are the creatures of the lawmaking power of the state. The legislature does not make law because statutes are not laws. Statutes are not laws. A city court under our Constitution is of this latter character. A city court under our Constitution is of this latter character, meaning in Alabama, municipal courts are legislative courts or administrative courts. They are in there enforcing statutes and codes. A lawsuit has been filed against you. Against your person, should I say, because it's not against you. They're only in there dealing with fictions. Everything in there is a fiction. Anything legal, that shit is a fucking fiction. It is established by the legislature. It is the creature of a statute law. Statutes are not laws. All statute laws are subject to repeal except when they create a contract. Did y'all see that? I think that flew over my head. I got to do some more research on that. All statute laws are subject to repeal except when they create a contract. Here, that is not the case. The establishment of a court is not the creation of a contract. I'm going to stop right there because I don't think it's relevant anymore to read it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to direct y'all to my YouTube channel and to another video that y'all need to read. That y'all need to watch. See this video right here? I did this about 6 months ago, where I'm telling y'all and I'm showing you the cases that are all over the country that are proving to you that you are not in a court. You are in an administrative agency. And I'm telling you what an administrative agency is, what they do, and what's going on in here. This video right here. Y'all need to go and watch that video. It's full of case law. I did all the research for you, just made it very simple for you with the cases and the case citations in it so you can go and read the cases for yourself. You should go and watch that video. I strongly advise y'all, if you want to know what's going on and if you want to know if this man is really crazy in that video that I just showed y'all, or if I'm crazy, or if I'm just making shit up, go watch that video. Go watch the video. Let's see if there's anything else. I got to make sure I covered everything. Y'all give me a second. I'll be right back. Do y'all remember when I said not too long ago in this video that there are 2 federal Supreme Courts? Here are the cases that prove that. One is from 1805, and here's another one from 2023. Congress established the Supreme Court, the Circuit Court, and the District Court by the Judiciary Act of 1789. There's the case citation right there. That's how it looked on the website that I got, but that is a legit case. Here's another one. Congress, in organizing the judiciary according to the Constitution, have created a Supreme Court and inferior courts. Some of the latter extended over certain circuits composed of different states, and others are confined to their respective states. But in all of them, it is the judicial power of the United States which it is carried into effect. Now, there's something that I want to let y'all, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. So give me some time. I'm gonna find it for y'all, because the legislature does not have any judicial authority to give. At least they don't in Alabama. And I'm convinced that they don't have it anywhere unless they were authorized to do it by the people. They don't have judicial authority to give. The people have already deposited into their administrative agency, which is called the judiciary, judicial power. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right. I'm going to read y'all something else, and this will probably be the last thing. This is in regards to the legislature and in the legislature investing so-called judicial authority in their courts and in their agencies. This is an Alabama case, but this case stood out to me a lot. I need to read it some more. It's about 68 pages, the actual case is, but I'm going to read you a case citation from a case that cited this case. This is from 1947. This case is based on State Ex Rel. Winter versus Sayer, 118 Alabama, page 1. I'm not going to read the rest of that. Where in dealing with the distribution and exercise of the judicial power, it was said, the system is in itself and of itself complete. And though there has been a grant or reservation to the General Assembly of power to establish inferior courts of law and equity, there has not been any part or any fraction or fragment of judicial power left in abeyance, meaning left for them to do, left in abeyance of that, awaiting the happening of any future event or the exercise of future legislative power to vitalize or quicken into activity. If the General Assembly never exercised the power to establish inferior courts with which it was clothed, and its exercise is purely matter of legislative discretion, the whole element of sovereignty known as judicial power would exist. confined to tribunals which may properly be said to be of constitutional creation. So that what they're saying is the judicial power of the court system exists without the legislature, even if the legislature chose to not create so-called courts and authorize those courts with some type or deposited within those so-called courts quasi-judicial authority. They're saying it's irrelevant because the people have already done that. That's what they're saying, y'all. Y'all should think about that. Just think about it. That stood out to me a lot. So that has to be a principle. Because if they did, if that's what it says on the state level, then it has to be like that on the federal level also. That's what it seems like to me. But anyway, that will be the end of this video. Let me see how long it is. This is over an hour long. I hope y'all learned something from this video. I hope y'all watch this video all the way through because that's the only way you're going to learn. Anyway, that will be the end of this video. The Supreme Litigant is out. Peace.